You're watching Business Connection. Joining me now is Dr. Lisa Konick. Dr. Lisa, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Liz.
Tell me a little bit about Konick Associates and what makes you unique.
Well, we are a family behavioral health and psychological evaluations center. So we offer both therapy and counseling services for individuals and families, as well as psychological and neuropsychological evaluations in our Center for Testing, all under one roof.
Explain both services a little bit in case we are very familiar with the therapist, but we're not familiar with the other side of it.
Well, therapy can involve a lot of things. So our service model is looking at individual counseling, family counseling, couples counseling, and therapies. And what makes our approach a little different from other practices is when we see parents, when we see children, we're really integrating that care. So parents are involved in the care of their kids. And so we're teaching the parents the same skills that we're teaching the children when we're doing family therapy.
Well, that makes sense.
So they can transfer that skill at home and really work on those skills in the home setting.
How do you determine which you need? Do you often start with somebody maybe in therapy and suggest the psychological, or do they come in with psychological and go to therapy?
It can actually happen both ways. So a lot of times people will come in for a formal evaluation, and we do a full evaluation, and we make a diagnosis, and a lot of times those recommendations are going to be for therapeutic supports, so individual or family therapy, parent support, and then we can cross-refer into our team of therapists. Mm-hmm. Similarly, a lot of times our therapists may be working with a client and they realize they need some more information. There's some underlying concerns that they really feel need to be further evaluated. So we can then make that referral internally to our testing center.
That's awesome that it's all under one roof.
Yes.
So, because I would imagine that if you're in the therapy and want to do some further testing, it's a comfort to be able to do it within the scope of your practice.
Yes. In our Center for Testing, we are able to offer both psychological and neuropsychological evaluations. So that may look at questions such as, does my child have autism? Does my child have ADHD? Does my child have a learning disability? How do we understand the difference between, is this bipolar disorder, depression, anxiety? We also can test for giftedness. And we look at special needs individuals and really help them with evaluations that will give them recommendations for things that they may need later in life. They may be seeking out disability applications or vocational assistance, and so we can make those recommendations for those families to help them really understand what direction they may want to go to.
That's awesome. So tell me a little bit about your organizational structure and how does that fit into your care model?
Well, our organizational model is based on providing high quality care with a high degree of integrity. So all of our clinicians align with that model. Another aspect of our care model is empirically validated or research-based methods. And we integrate research-based methods that are grounded in solid research into our therapeutic approach as well as our testing.
Wow, you're doing a lot. What might a client expect from a therapist when they come to an office? You know, sometimes it's a first step for somebody. What should they expect?
Well, when they make a request for services, we recognize a lot of people find that to be quite intimidating, mm-hmm. Depending on whether they've had therapy in the past or not, and also whether they may not have had a good experience.
Right.
So clients can contact our client care coordinator, obviously by calling on the phone, but we also offer an opportunity for them to reach out through our website. So they can email our client care coordinator, and everything is pretty seamless. We do everything electronically, so it's paperless, and we try to make it as easy and accessible for them as possible. And when they are seeking out a clinician at our practice, we have a wide variety of specializations. Mm-hmm. So our goal is to really find a good fit between what the client's needs are and having that therapist meet that area of specialty. So they're really we're trying to hand select that connection so that they're really being fit with somebody that's going to be able to work well with them and meet their needs.
So does this client care coordinator take like if I'm calling in, do I get that? And then I say, okay, I want to talk to someone because I'm stressed out. And then they recommend maybe 2 or 3 clinicians that have specialty in that. And then what happens? Do I get to see who they are, or explain this a little bit more to me?
Sure. So all of our, you'll see, to speak about our clinical team, all of our clinicians are trained in research-based approaches. So they can do mm-hmm. cognitive behavioral therapy and other approaches that are founded in the research, but they also bring a unique area of specialty to the practice. So their specialties are listed on our website, so clients can go and look at each of our clinicians' biography page.
Nice.
And get a good understanding of what their unique areas and talents are. And that, I think, gives people a personalized experience where they feel like this person, and their picture's there so they can see what they look like, and it really helps to make people feel a little more comfortable coming into the practice.
Absolutely, because it's a big step to, to say I need to talk to someone, or even if you've talked to someone in the past, to switch a counselor is also a little bit traumatic.
It is.
So you're dealing with that. When someone is seeking help with a therapist, what's advice, or how long should someone expect to be with you?
Well, I think it depends. We offer, some therapies are shorter term, depending on the presenting problem, and some are longer term. And a lot of times what we'll see is, we'll have somebody come in, stress management, anxiety, mood-related issues. We may see them and give them skills and work on those skills and have those, we want to make sure those skills are transferring to their real life. So maybe helping their parents understand those skills, making sure that they're getting those skills activated in the work environment. And once we're seeing that happen, we may start to do less frequent sessions. On the reverse, sometimes people are coming in and maybe it's a trauma-informed case, and they're really dealing with a lot and unloading a lot, and as they're in the process of therapy, maybe realizing they have more unpacking to do. So they may be in therapy longer. And so we really are able to meet both of those needs and really kind of take that journey with the client and kind of adjust their goals along the way.
Right, well, I think the one beautiful thing about therapy, no matter what you're in there for, is that the therapist is focused on you. This is a chance to really give yourself some time that you deserve to have to figure out your problems or your unpacking. I love that term because we tend to have a problem and stuff it in our coat pocket and carry on, and then it gets too heavy, and that's when we need someone like you or someone on your team.
And we think about, we're on the journey with you. So one of the things that's important to us is we are looking at establishing goals with that client in the very first intake session. And a lot of times people feel surprised. I say, what are your goals? And they're like, I don't know. And so we work with them on that. You're here for a purpose, and we want to help you along the journey. And goals can evolve as we're going through that journey with them. But we really want to make sure they're getting the skills that they need to, unfortunately, no longer need us.
Right, right. So when you think about today, are we more stressed out and in more need of services today than ever before?
I think maybe we are. We're seeing some interesting trends. We're seeing a lot more younger individuals requesting a therapist from their parents. We're seeing children in that elementary age looking for therapy right now. We're seeing a lot of adolescents self-diagnosing online and feeling like, hey, I need to see somebody to work through this. And we are able to serve both of those populations. We're also seeing a lot of adults that have been carrying a lot of weight with the stressors of life right now, and coming in for support, as for parenting support, marital or couples related support, individual support. So we are able to offer all those services and support that whole range of individuals.
I do feel like there's a normalizing of needing mental health care, of being able to seek out someone like you, and I think that's a wonderful transition from what we have been. So thank you so much for all that you do. Thank you for stopping by and telling us a little bit about you and your specific practice, and we wish you a lot of luck, and thank you for the care that you're giving us.
Thank you, Liz.
And if you're interested in learning more about Konick Associates, please visit their website. We'll be right back with more Business Connection.